Since 1958, Law Day has been recognized nationwide as an opportunity to reflect on the importance of the rule of law. This year's theme is Law in the 21st Century, Emerging Challenges, Enduring Traditions. Our system of law is designed to protect our rights as citizens and our safety and prosperity as a nation has a long and rich history. The federal Constitution dates back to 1787. In New Jersey, our fellow citizens and ancestors adopted 3 state constitutions over the years, in 1776, 1844, and 1947, and both the federal and state constitutions have been amended many times by the people. Throughout the centuries, the federal and state constitutions, as well as statutes passed in Washington, D.C. and in Trenton, have changed over time. So have the needs of the people who depend on and use the legal system. As times change, so must our courts. We also have to adapt to economic and social developments and emerging technologies that help shape modern-day events. In New Jersey, that sometimes means changing the way we do business. We have to be responsive to the needs of litigants to ensure that our most important traditions, like the rule of law, fairness, and equal treatment, are upheld in a meaningful way. Here's one example. In the last decade, we've seen a tremendous increase in the need for interpreting services in our courts. We can't guarantee equal treatment under the law unless we take steps to ensure that all parties in a case can understand and participate in court proceedings. With that in mind, New Jersey has led the nation in developing the highest standards for court interpreters. Thanks to a highly qualified staff of interpreters and a large group of contractors who assist them, we were able to provide interpreting services in our courts last year in more than 80 different languages. Recent economic changes have led to other challenges, like the enormous increase in mortgage foreclosure filings since the start of the current recession. In response, we set up a mandatory mortgage foreclosure mediation program. It's designed to get homeowners and lenders to sit down together to try to work out a payment plan or some other agreement that can avoid foreclosures and allow people to remain in their homes. As part of the program, more than 800 lawyers volunteered to serve as mediators. In each case, the courts have tried to provide a fair process to protect the rights of all parties, as we traditionally try to do. But we've also tried to react to a real crisis, and the results so far have been very impressive. Of the more than 6,800 mediation sessions scheduled so far, more than 1,200 cases have settled, which means that more than 1,200 foreclosures have been avoided. The court system is also trying to respond to the needs of men and women who recently served in the military at great personal sacrifice. Last June, some 3,000 members of the New Jersey National Guard returned from deployments in Iraq and Afghanistan. They represented the largest call-up of civilian soldiers in our state's history since World War II. We know that readjusting to civilian life is not always easy. Some returning soldiers may run into trouble with the law and end up facing criminal charges in the court system. As a result, we've worked closely with the Department of Military and Veteran Affairs and the Department of Human Services to help veterans charged with crimes get treatment, mentoring, and other assistance. Our goal is to get them the help they need so that they don't end up in the criminal justice system a second time. Working with others, we've already seen positive changes in many lives from this new program. One of the biggest challenges for the courts today relates to technology. You know how rapidly technology changes from what you see in your daily lives. What does that mean for the courts? We're trying to embrace technology to help improve the court system in any way we can. For example, last year more than 264,000 cases were filed electronically in our special civil courts. More than 1.4 million traffic and parking tickets were paid online, which amounted to roughly 40% of tickets statewide that were eligible for online payment. And more than 38% of all criminal complaints were filed electronically in 2009. What does all this mean for the public? People can pay traffic tickets wherever and whenever it's most convenient for them, up until about midnight. They can ask a judge to issue a restraining order on a Sunday. Attorneys look up case files without leaving their desks, and people can watch Supreme Court arguments on a laptop at home, work, or school. Changes like these can raise other issues. What do we do about electronic evidence? How do we retain and retrieve emails that may be relevant in a legal dispute? What should we do about jurors who bring BlackBerries and other devices with internet access to court when they serve on juries? How can we best serve the growing number of people who now represent themselves in court? We work on these and related problems every day as we try to adapt to emerging challenges in light of our vital traditions. As we celebrate Law Day, let's think of how we can work to address the challenges of the future without sacrificing our primary responsibility to resolve disputes and guarantee equal justice under the law consistent with the ideals of our democratic society. Thank you very much for joining me to commemorate Law Day.